Okay, so it's 2023 and you're thinking about getting a new camera. You want to get into photography, but you really don't know where to start. Your budget, it's open, but you don't want to spend too much either, right? I have a solution for you guys. I've been using the Fuji X-T1, which is the first generation. Um, I would actually know it's probably the second generation because the first generation of X-Trans sensors were in the X Pro 1. The XT1, I would say, was probably the more refined version of the X-Trans sensors. And it just brings so much value in 2023 because you can pick this up with the 27 millimeter pancake lens for less than $500 if you really look around. I've got this for, I think, about $450. And to be very frank with you, some of my best images were shot with this camera combo. In fact, the main image that you see on my website here was shot with the Fujifilm X-T1. I've even dedicated a separate section for images shot with the X-Trans 2 sensor, mainly because I own two cameras with the X-Trans 2 sensor. One is the XE2 and obviously the X-T1. So once you hop over to this section of my website, you're going to see various street photography images that I've shot with the X-T1. I do live in Medellin, Colombia, and I try to capture images in the most Colombian type of neighborhoods. I'm not really trying to show the more Americanized locations. A lot of these images were shot in El Centro, which is very grungy. It's not the safest location, and that's why I love carrying a camera like this, because I didn't spend too much. So if I were to get robbed, it's okay. I would rather be much more comfortable losing this than an X100V. On top of that, for posting online and in social media, I really don't think you will notice much of a difference. Even if I were to compare this with the new X-T5, 40 megapixels, probably better dynamic range and a much better AF system. But if you're just starting out photography, you're not looking to do this professionally, honestly, are you really going to see that difference? I'm going to share with you guys each of these images that I've shot. And I can tell you that even if I had the X-T5 or the X100V, I probably wouldn't see much difference. I think the images would be shot exactly the same. Maybe I would have had more megapixels to work with. Maybe I would have had a bit more dynamic range. But is that additional really worth it for the price? I think that's the question that you should ask yourself. I mean, the color rendition straight out of the camera is amazing on the X-Trans 2. And I actually prefer working with the smaller file sizes. So this does have 16 megapixels, which I think is enough. I mean, I was happy with 12 megapixels from a Nikon D700. I do own full frame cameras with much more megapixels, but for some reason, I just enjoy using my X-T1. I just wanted to give you guys some inspiration. It's a short video, and a lot of my peers are always asking me what camera should they start their photography journey with. And, I've written a blog on this as well. And I've verbally mentioned to everybody about the X-T1 and the XE2. But I thought I'd put this video up together just to show you some of the images that I've shot with this camera and why it should be the camera that you should start out with, even in 2023.